The question, two random questions that I picked off the list of the questions that they asked. First one is number 8 on the list is, who are your biggest influences in life or in other things that you find interesting?
My two biggest influences, probably my grandmother and my mother. Uh, they are both strong women in unique ways to each other, and they both provided me with good templates on how to be a good person, a good mother, and a good wife, and a good citizen. William, please stop. Your daddy's working.
Okay, let's see. There's several here that are, they're kind of baiting questions. It's like, what are your political views and stuff like that.
Oh, those
we're not getting into that one because all we do is get shadow banned or get our videos taken down by YouTube for it. All right, so we're gonna go with randomly. I'm just picking ones off of the list. Number 4 on the list is, what advice would you give to someone wanting to follow a career in the medical field?
Don't.
In lab work.
In the last decades, it has become increasingly obvious that healthcare does not value laboratory employees, and while it is amazing and fascinating work, if you're financially independent, yeah, go for it, man. Absolutely. But if you need to work for a living, unfortunately, lab just isn't where the money is. It's the cost-benefit analysis doesn't work out. You can go to school for half as long and make twice as much if you go into nursing.
Okay. Alrighty then. Crystal picked 2 for me off the list. Again, these are 32 questions that people have asked either of me or of Crystal on either in the Taco Podcast, on episodes where we were live, or they were asked in the comments section, or they were asked. Somebody commented on a video of mine about and asking a question about Crystal, and vice versa, me on her channel as well. But that's where all 32 of these questions come from. We didn't make these up. But Crystal picked number 5 and number 1 for me. So let's start off with number 1. Have either of you been spotted out in public? And if so, how did it go? Oh, I've been spotted in public quite a few times. Not for the Taco Podcast, but for my main channel, for 1-1 Now. And I was also spotted, additionally on top of that, I was spotted because I was actually, in case you didn't know this, and when they made the movie, made-for-TV movie of about Christopher Watts and the actual murder itself, they used my video, they used my likeness, me itself, and they used me, my actual work, and they got a transcript of the videos that I'd done to that point, and they used it all, and didn't pay me a dime. I was in the print material, I was in the promotional, trailer for the made-for-TV movie, and they never paid me because they said, you are someone in the public eye, you are a public person, therefore we don't have to. I contacted my attorney, and they said, look, if you want to fight this, we can, but I mean, you might get a couple $1,000s out of it, but it's going to cost you probably $10,000-$20,000 in just legal fees to try to get that, $2,000 or $3,000 if you're lucky. So, but I got spotted for that as well, and out in the public. A lady came up to me and she's like, I seen you on the Lifetime Network. Are you an actor? And I said, no, I'm not an actor. Although I have done a little bit, of being an extra. I mean, it's fun. It's, it's a quick $40 and a bag lunch. But that, I mean, I've never been in anything famous, or anything that worth right. My name was in the credits that way. But I'm like, no, I'm not an actor. And she goes, I saw you on a murder drama, on the Lifetime network. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. But yeah, I've been spotted in public. And how did it go? Every one of them, except for one, unfortunately, have been very positive. I enjoy meeting, people who are a fan, and even people who are not a fan. As long as you're not a complete dick. I mean, who wants to, to meet somebody in public and in person, who just wants to berate you, because they think that, a narrative of a story that they were told is true and that you're wrong. Nobody wants to meet that person in public, where another person you've never met before just comes up to you, and starts berating you. That happened a little, and then I just said, F you, and turned around and walked away. But all of the other interactions I've met people in the supermarket. I've met him at the bowling alley, of all places, because I never go there, but I met a person there who knew who I was and had enjoyed my content. I've met people in other places, gas stations, stuff like that. I mean, total overall, less than a dozen, but they've all been positive except for that one. So, I mean, I'm always willing to. If you see me in public, man, come up and say hello. I'd love to shake your hand, give you a hug or whatever, and just say hi. I'm a nice person. Well, I don't know why people have different opinions of me. Even the person who berated me later on left a comment, on another video. It's like, hey, I saw you and I knew it was that person, immediately, because they told me in the conversation who they were online. But even then, they were like, at least you're cool about it. You were willing to listen to what I had to say. So, all right. And then she picked number 5. What do you do, and what do you enjoy doing in your free time? Well, I golf. I golf as much as humanly possible. If I could go 5 days a week, I would go 5 days a week. But I don't get to golf 5 days a week. I pay for a membership at a golf course, so I can go as much as I want. If I want to golf every single day and I want to, spend from daylight, to dawn, golfing, I could, but I never get anything else done. But I'm raising a family. I've got 2 children. The youngest one is 9. So, and then I take care of the household and transportations and everybody else's scheduling for appointments, and and so on and so on and so forth. It's life. We all have to live life, right? And we don't get to pick the terms necessarily to how we live life. But I golf. It's the only thing that I do outside of working and taking care of my family. Pretty boring to some people, but hey, I enjoy it. So, with that said, we have now answered question number 1, question number 8, question number 5, and question number 4. Crystal did 4 and 8 today. And then we did bonus question number 2 in a shorts video. So, hope you enjoy this. We have 32 of them here, but there's probably, I'd say 9 or 10 in here that we're never going to answer. So please, if you see this and you want to ask a question, leave it in the comment section down below. But please, do not ask political questions. Do not ask us about Jeffrey Epstein or views on any of that, political or Jeffrey Epstein. Right now, people are getting shadow banned and demonetized, for, on the Epstein part of it, because, well, the billionaires are taking care of the billionaires, and they don't want to, keep this, Epstein thing in the news cycle anymore. So, and that's the truth. Again, they're never going to release it, and if they do, you certainly should never believe it, because they're already, thinking about and talking about openly, publicly, about how they can alter it and skew the information for their gain on one side and hurt the other side. So, and we don't ever talk politics. So, and for all those people out there that think that me and Crystal are one political party or the other, I'm sorry to tell you, we're not. We are the most middle of the road, vanilla, boring, independent, party individuals that you'll ever meet. We vote for the person that we believe will do the best job. Yeah. I don't know why the rest of the damn world's not that way. Hey, this is the person I believe is going to do the best. If it means that you have a Democrat as the president and a vice president is a Republican, why don't you just lock them in a room and have them duke it out until they decide to do what's best for the damn people.